Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing? Welcome to my channel, Mikey's Automotive. Hola, bienvenidos todos a mi canal, Mikey's Automotive. Здравствуйте, как дела? Добро пожаловать на мой канал, my ключ автомобильный. So, you guys, today we have a '03 to '07 Accord. Okay, this is the whole housing assembly, and I'm gonna be using my kit that I ordered online. Okay, it's my roll pin kit slash extractor pin remover for Honda. So I'm gonna use this little type of spacer, and it's gonna level the the roll pin remover tool. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and twist it or screw it onto the roll pin, as you guys can see. And then I'm gonna spin the bottom piece towards the right while I hold the top piece. Okay, and you kind of have to build a feel for it so you can get a good feel for it. So when you kind of feel that roll pin coming out, you know when to tighten it up more and so. Okay, so right here I tighten it up pretty good, and then I'm kind of like pushing down, and also the top lever I'm kind of moving it to the right, and I feel that it's still stuck on there and it's going up. So as you guys can see right here, I actually took the roll pin out. As you guys can see, the ignition lock cylinder jump out when I remove the roll pin, and that's our roll pin that we're trying to remove. So we did good in that. We're gonna go ahead and take this out. Sometimes it helps it when you put the key in there, so you can go ahead and pull it out. So I'll put the key in there, pull it out, and this is our mechanism. Hold on to that little spring, don't lose that, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and get our ignition lock cylinder. We removed it from our housing. We removed our first roll pin using our Honda ignition tool remover. And then I'm gonna use this long little type of pick, type of chisel that they gave us, and I'm gonna go ahead and position it right on top of the roll pin through this side, and this is the way I usually get it out. I'll go ahead and I'll bang it with something on top. So you guys can see I'm using these pliers just to hit it, tap it. Now you can't really push it the other side, you guys, because it hits up. But what I also done in the past is I'll drill a hole right through the top piece, the metal piece. I'll drill a hole through that, and then I'll use that little stick to hit it right from the top angle. Right when it comes out a little bit or so, that you've been hitting it with the chisel or with the pick, the long tool that I was using. After a while of hitting it, it'll come out. Go ahead, use some pliers, some mini pliers, or whatever you can to try to pull it out. In this case, I had to use, again, my Honda ignition removal kit. So this is another piece that I have. So this all comes in the kit. This is the piece for the back of the tailpiece. Like, again, it helps me level the roll pin extractor when I'm going to extract the pin, so it kind of has a level to it. So you guys can see that there's our roll pin right there. It came out a little bit more, but it just doesn't want to come out with the pliers. So I'm going to use my roll pin removal kit for Honda. Like I said, I'm going to put in my tailpiece. Okay, that's our jig for the tailpiece. We're going to put that in. That only goes in one way, okay? So you shouldn't be having so much trouble trying to put it in. It only goes in one way. I'm going to go ahead and screw in my my roll pin remover. I'm going to screw that in. I'm going to get that feel again. Again, you guys don't want to tighten it so much because you guys can break these. These are really fragile tools, so you really could break them. So go ahead and hold the top piece and spin the bottom piece, okay, to the right, and it should come right out like butter, you guys. And there's our roll pin. There's our roll pin that was stuck in there. We're gonna remove our little jig. We remove our tailpiece, our tailpiece lock that holds it in. We're gonna put our key inside the ignition. Now, you guys, the key code for this vehicle is written on the housing of this cylinder lock that I just took out. So that little piece in the bottom does have the key code for it, you guys. Okay, you can use your ILCO reference book to look at the series, and it's usually the last four, starting with the letter. Okay. Now, you guys, these pins usually go bad, and you guys can see there's one sticking out, and that's the culprit that was preventing our ignition lock cylinder from turning. So the key would go in. Well, actually, the key wouldn't go in all the way, or sometimes it doesn't turn, and those pins would usually go bad. So a little quick bypass that I do is I'll just take them all out and just leave the last pin in there. And that will prevent it from ever happening again. Or you can just replace them. Make sure you clean everything up. Use new springs. They sell the pinning kits and UHS. That's where I got mine from for the Honda kit. Okay, so you remove one pin one by one. You look at the number, whatever number it is, you put it in there. Okay, so make sure you guys take all the springs out. If you guys are gonna do this like I did right now, make sure you remove all the springs in there. Okay, so I removed all the pins and all the springs in there, and I just sprayed some good Houdini on there. I just left the last pin in there. So you will be able to turn it on with another different key, a Honda key, but they won't be able to start it unless they program the key. So this usually solves my issue with these vehicles. I'll clean it up really good, remove all the roll pins, remove all the springs, leave the last one in there, spray a little bit of Houdini, and it should be super clean after this spray. That's why I love this stuff, you guys. I recommend it. Houdini, look it up, you guys. There's a video on my page of me using this stuff on a lock. It cleans, lubricates, amazing, you guys. And like I said, I just left the last pin in there, and that last pin will prevent the lock from spinning by itself or anything else. So I'll just leave that last, and then I'll put it inside. And like I said, the key code's written on the little housing of the lock cylinder, the one that I'm holding. It's the last 4 on there. Now I usually lift that little lever up, and then the lock cylinder should go in there. And then I'll just turn it back to how I had it, with the roll pin hole facing down. I'll put in my little tailpiece lock. That's our little lock that holds it in. Okay, our type of interlocking tailpiece. And then we're gonna remove our roll pin from our roll pin removal tool. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in. I usually push it in with one of the pliers. I'll push it in with the pliers, and it'll go in there. If not, just bang it a little bit with our chisel or pick that I was using earlier, and that will usually do the trick. So just go ahead and use some pliers or tap it in there with the chisel, you guys, and it should be good. Okay, it should be ready to go after this. Like I said, you can use this little tool to tap it in there as well. You just don't want to tap it in there too much, you guys. Now, like I said, it won't push through all the way through the other side. So if you guys are trying to remove it, that is not gonna work. It's gonna tap on top. So I always remove it from up down. And there's our ignition lock cylinder. It's working again, perfect. So you guys can see no issues. I sprayed a little bit of Houdini, cleaned it up really good. We're gonna put it in the housing already. We're gonna put it in our ignition lock housing, the whole steering column. Okay, we're gonna put our little spring in there, and usually I'll put my key inside the ignition lock cylinder so it can go in there. And you gotta hear this little tap as soon as it goes in there. There you go. You see how, you guys, it's going up. So you want to push it all the way down and then hold it with your finger. When you push it in there, hold it all the way down, and then put the roll pin in there while you're holding it down. So hold that ignition lock cylinder in there and put that roll pin in at the same time, and just bang it on top with your pliers, with a screwdriver, anything you can poke it in there with, just poke it in there, and you should be good. As you guys can see, it's in there and it's ready to go. We're gonna put it back on the vehicle, and it should be ready to go. As you guys can see, it actually turns now, and it actually goes in all the way. And that's our solution right there for all these vehicles. Usually, if you go to a dealer, they will only sell you the whole steering column housing itself, and that's like around $800 to $1,000. So they don't sell the ignition lock housing separately. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Take